Good evening to our cherished viewers once again. Welcome to the National Science and Maths Quiz Review Show. My name is Jacqueline Dubafo, your host once again for today. Unfortunately, today marks the end of the quarterfinals of the NSMQ 2023. And as you've probably witnessed online, and of course the people have managed to make it into the auditorium, we've had, great moments, thrilling moments, and of course upsets for the unfortunate schools that had to go home. But let me just remind you, this is an academic competition, and of course we're all here to learn. So I hope you did learn a few things from today's contest. Just before we dive into the results today, of course, we're going to slice and dice, and we've got some really exciting guests for you all. Let me take the opportunity to acknowledge our sponsors. The 30th anniversary edition of the NSMQ is proudly brought to you by Ghana Education Service in partnership with GOL PLC and supported by Joy News, AT, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Pepsodent Toothpaste Every Smile Matter, Better Malt, Garnet, Coronation Insurance, Academic City University College, Accra College of Medicine, Cowbell, Bell Beverages, GTP, Newmont Ghana, Africa World Airlines, and YFM. This is a primetime production. Joining me today, I've got, in fact, 3 guests. There's so much to discuss. I have the legendary Mr. Afram, the coordinator for Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, and he has been holding this role since 2014. And I have Sharon Amwako as part of our graphic design team, and Godwin Apiteria, one of the old students from Achimota School. Welcome, guys. How are you all?
Thank you.
Fine, thank you.
Lovely. So a lot has happened today, and I don't even know where to start. Mr. Afram, just starting off with you, obviously, your boys made you very proud today. How would you sum up the whole event?
Okay, first of all, I want to say I've been coordinating PRESEC team. I started as a coach in 2004, and then I assumed coordinator position in 2006. So you want me to talk about our contest? Okay, I think the last contest has been a very hot one, a very exciting, very hot and scary one. All 3 schools are great schools, so I think each has a respect for the others, and I think that also manifested in the speed race, because everybody handled the speed race tactically. And unlike the other speed race, you see a lot of people having negatives or 1 or 2. You rather than this one, the negatives were much reduced because each one has respect for the other one.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll slice and dice the scores and the moments of the contest today. But let me move on to Sharon. Sharon, you've witnessed several contests of the quarterfinals. Did anyone stand out for you? Any of the schools or even the contestant?
Okay, so I would say PRESEC really stood out, and also Accra Academy. But then I'm a girl's girl, so I would say that St. Louis also stood out for me, and I was very proud of them.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we're very proud of St. Louis and Wesley girls moving on to the semi-finals. Godwin, the semi-finals is on Thursday, and of course we've got two girls' schools in the semi-finals. They will be competing against each other. What do you think both can bring to the table? Do you think they will work together against? I think they're competing with your school, right?
Exactly.
Do you think, have you guys strategized in terms of having 2 girls who are probably wishing one must make it to the finals?
Well, it's really nice having 2 girls' schools that we're competing with on the same stage. What I should say about that is, I feel if a school is better prepared than you and it's on stage, the day goes. But this is Science and Maths quiz where we have a lot of dicey things happening on stage. So you can't best trust. But then well, I don't see their light shining this year. Not because I'm trying to be biased towards my school, but it's a fact. But in case they are able to make it to the finals, I think that would be something great, though. Yeah.
Absolutely. Mr. Afram, so over the years, one thing that has been brought to my attention with PRESEC is usually when they start off from 1/8, they're sort of a bit slow. They do enough to progress to the next stage. Do you think this is one of your strategies to, inform your competitors that, in fact, this year we don't have the best performing, but once we see you in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and of course the finals, we see you scoring really, really high. I mean, 64 today is quite impressive. Is that a strategy, just to?
It's not okay. It's not actually a strategy not to start very well, but sometimes when you start, you see that at each stage of the competition, the nature of the questions vary. So as time goes on, the schools, when it gets going higher, there's that kind of differentiation. You see the schools that are who really have content from the school that memorize stuff and then they come and produce. So yes, sometimes I think 2021, our first 1/8, we had 70 points, and then I think last year we struggled. We have 48 against 42. So sometimes at that lower level, the question is whether some of the questions are just straightforward. So if you lose your points, it's difficult to get a bonus from any school to make out the points. But when we keep on going, actually we study the terrain and then we strategize for each level of the competition.
Indeed.
So at each level, we keep getting stronger and stronger.
Absolutely. And in terms of knowledge, teamwork, and strategy, what do you think differentiates PRESEC from other teams? Of course, you've won it the most. Aside from Prem Pass 1, I think you've won it 7, Prem Pass won it 5 times, and so on and so forth. What sort of differentiate your, PRESEC, having been the coordinator for over 18 years? I'm sure you've seen a few things.
I think for PRESEC, you see, winning starts from the mind. Because if you want to win, you must have having that in your mind that you have to win. So for us, we take every competition, not only science and math quiz competition, every competition, no matter how small it is, our ultimate goal is to win. If you don't win, you come for second positions, like we've not done anything, So we put in everything, the whole school, from the headmaster. And I want to take this opportunity to appreciate my headmaster and his management team, Mr. David Ojija, and also the board of governors for the school and the old students president, Dr. Ernesto Sapmo, and his team for the great support. So there's that great support, there's that energy, that passion. Even the students are driven by passion. Sometimes you, the teacher, you have to beg them to sleep. So there's that passion.
Absolutely, I can see that. Yeah. And I can also see with the support that you bring into our auditorium. Sharon, so let's have a look at the first contest today at the Sarah Auditorium. Sarah Men's Auditorium, where we're shooting this live from. We had Keita SHTS, who scored 44 points, Tamale SHS, 35 points, St. Augustine's College, 32 points. What's your take on that? I think people actually thought it was going to be a competition between Keita and Augusto, but clearly at some point, I think the first round, Tamale was leading, just 1 point, but it's still a lead, right? So what's your take on that?
So for me, it was very competitive between the three schools, and then we were, as you said, expecting the competition to be between Keita and Augustine's, but then it didn't turn out to be that way, and Augustine's actually came in third, which was a shock to everybody in the nation, and that was like unexpected. It was surprising, but then I feel like this is one of the reasons why we shouldn't undermine some schools. Maybe we should ensure that we are paying attention to all schools, acknowledging all schools, because something can indeed come from somewhere, something big can come from somewhere. So I think that was one of the lessons that we got from this too.
Absolutely, and I do agree on that. We should never undermine any school at all. So the next contest, which we had, Godwin, if you can help me analyze this one, we had in Fancy Pim School, Yulo Krobo SHS, and Kumasi Sec Tech School. In Fancy Pim scored 32 points, Yulo Krobo 29 points, and Kumasi Sec Tech 28 points. Clearly, I'm sure the home support didn't help Kumasi Sec Tech. What's your view on this contest?
Very well. With Kumasi Sec Tech, if you trace their performance from the onset this year, they've not really been very impressive. But then I expected them to win the day. Looking at the performance of Fancy Pim, in fact, I was quite disappointed anyway, because for a Category A school coming into the competition, they should come with full power. Looking at the likes of PRESEC and Augustins, Adisco, though Adisco couldn't make it today, couldn't cross the 1-8. But then I feel this should have been a real competition. Instead, Yulo Krobo came up trying to pull a surprise, first time reaching this far. And it was really amazing. But going forward, I think some of these schools should stop undermining, underrating other schools. They think the smaller schools coming don't really have what they have. So they are using the school's pedigree to undermine or suppress. When you get onto the stage, it's a different thing, Oscar.
It's a whole new game.
It looks like they are just ready. They want to do something to show off, lift the image of their school. So it's just very okay if you are preparing, you want to prepare to that level where everyone you meet on stage, you match them as if they are just of your pedigree. That is what will help other schools. Otherwise, we will see very big schools falling very soon in this competition.
Absolutely.
Not PRESEC though.
The mighty PRESEC. So you mentioned that the competition was very close and Yulo Krobo almost pulled a surprise. And if you look at the schools, it's very, very, very close. What do you think edged it for Fancy Pim? Was there something they did to sort of be a bit ahead of their competitors? Because it's pretty close and anyone could have taken it.
I think when you get to the stage, sometimes looking into the crowd and that kind of feeling that you want to deliver, and you start getting some few things wrong and then correct, you see that it changes a whole lot. So if you don't keep your composure, it introduces something different. That is what I think Fancy Pim really lack. They don't have that stage character this year. And for the other side that has the stage character, they will definitely want to pull a surprise. So it really went against them, because I don't expect Fancy Pim to get that low point in such a competition. No, not with the schools that they have met.
Absolutely. And I just want to emphasize on the point for our viewers, we very much appreciate you guys. So for today, we'll be taking up your comments. So please do make sure you subscribe to all of our social media handles at NSMQ Ghana, and put in your points as well. So Mr. Afram, we have to speak about the last one. There was a moment in the competition that I think Accra Academy was at 50 points, or 55 points rather, and PRESEC was at 60 points, and we had two more riddles to go. How did you felt at that point, and how do you think your students felt at that point? Because it was quite tight.
Yeah, it was tight, but then we still believe that we'll go through. Because there was still a 5-point gap, and we believe that the riddle round is quite a dicey round. Sometimes the riddles may go your way, but the fact that maybe about two has gone your way didn't necessarily mean that the other ones will go your way. So we believe that at least we just need one riddle to
60 points.
We believe that we just need one riddle to sail through. So the feeling they were tense, but we know that Academy was more under pressure to rush for the last riddle, and I think that happened to them. So, for the third riddle, And I think that was happened to them. They rushed for it and they had it wrong. And I think that paved the way for us. And I think that, well, Greece also, there was some element of grace on our side. At least as they lost, we had to take all the riddles and just nail it on the head. And they just did that.
Absolutely, yeah. That it was electrifying in the last moment, and once again, congrats to PRESEC. I mean, 63 points. It's one of probably top 5 of the highest scores we've seen throughout the contest. So they've definitely announced their arrival. Watch our competitors.
Yeah.
So we've had a few comments on our social media handle. I'm going to pick up a few from Facebook. Please bear with me. When is the semifinals? When will the semifinals be held from Ejia Asma? I will be announcing that in a moment, but for the meantime, it will be on Thursday from the Sarah Mensa Auditorium. I've got Nana Kwesi Favor watching from Norway. I did mention, guys, we've got both local and international fans. People are asking whether it's on television. You can watch it on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll be bringing you another edition hopefully on Thursday after the semi-final contest as well. And people are congratulating PRESEC and, of course, the other schools that made it through the semi-finals. We've also got people watching from Ireland. Thank you for tuning in. I'm pretty much sure it's quite late at the moment, but we always appreciate our international fans as well. We've also got comments from Kobe Scratch announcing the highest point of the quarterfinals so far was scored by PRESEC. Let's see what else we've got there. And of course, congratulating the winners of our contest today. Just to move on to the next part of our segment, is there anything that you've sort of noticed throughout the competition so far, Mr. Afram, that you'd like us to improve on?
Okay, thank you. I think throughout the competition, I realized most schools, even including my school, couldn't do very well in the biology. Most of the biology questions went wasted. I think the students will need to expand their reading. They need to read more widely. And Absolutely. I think the teachers also have to expand their research and not just localize their teaching to only a few books, but then also maybe probably teachers also need to vary the kind of questions that the biology teachers that they give to their students. Yeah, and I think generally that's one thing I have noticed. And I think also most schools didn't use the speed race well. They are not tactical of the speed race. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think I noticed that on the biology questions. And the thing about biology is it's very, very vague. Yeah. So much to read, so much to cover. There is one thing that I picked up from today's contest, though, around the different types of breeding species. So we've got aquaculture, silviculture. I can't remember the last one. So for our viewers, if you do know, please put it in the comments, and you may get invited to the final next week or even the 30th anniversary dinner. So please make sure you put the third one in the comment. Sharon, let me come back to you. You are part of the team. You see how much work we have to put in. Do you want to sort of, give our viewers a bit of an insight of all the work that goes into this production?
Okay, so from what I've seen so far of my colleagues and myself, we really do work hard behind the scenes. Everything is on point. Personally, I feel Prime Time just does such an awesome job at organizing everything and putting everything in place, and so to give us such an amazing show. And so I admonish all viewers to tune in when it's time, and then also support us by tuning in when it's time. Yes, please.
Absolutely, guys. And this is my first time witnessing this whole production. There is a lot of work. So I also want to take this opportunity to thank all the support and all the team members and crew that works on the entire production. It's absolutely incredible. Now, let's just move on into predictions. Semi-finals on Thursday. How exciting. So the first contest, which will be taking place in the morning from the Sarah Men's Auditorium, will be Wesley Girls High School, Achimota School, and St. Louis. What a contest. Godwin, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'll go in for Achimota School.
Of course.
Yes, I'll go in for Achimota School. It's like looking at their past contests from the scratch. You realize that Achimota School this year has put a lot of surprises. From the qualifiers, they had 62 points. For the prelims, they won with 60 points and a whooping 66 points at the 1-8. It's only that the quarterfinals didn't go so well, and so they couldn't make a high point. But then,
what do you think happened there? Why would you say the quarterfinals didn't go so well? Was it nerves? Was it?
Actually, we don't know what really
preparation?
happened on stage, but then they delivered at their best. But I don't know if it's also the form of question. Sometimes contestants get on stage, as I've always been saying, and a lot of things happen. If a contestant is off and then comes back, maybe at the time that they are off, things will just slide by. So I believe that something happened that we didn't really know. But they've done their best. It's all about just win. They have won their contest, and that's all. But I root for them. They will take the semi-final.
They will take you through. If you look at the qualifiers to the semi-finals, right? Achimota is the last but one in terms of score. St. Louis scored 50 points, and they've been quite consistent in terms of their points. Does that worry you at all, or do you feel like, you know what, we will come back?
It's not about we will come back. No two contests are the same.
Okay.
The questions they use for them are different from the ones they use for our contest. The contesting schools are different in their case. And also the atmosphere is also different. So we can't just compare the two contests. The points over here do not matter. We have likes of Koforidua Sectec that had 66 points, and then at a point in time, they had 26 points or 29 points. And we can't just compare. It's the stage. When we get to a different stage, new things happen.
Absolutely.
You will be surprised. Achimota will come and will put higher score. St. Louis will come and will go lower or higher. Wesley Girls same. So the points do not count here.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Mr. Afram, so the second, if I can get your thoughts on the second contest, because I know the third one, you have a very biased opinion on that. So the second one, no comment on that. Yeah. Anyway, let me read it out. So we've got Opokuwari School, Pope John SHS, and Prempeh College. This is going to be a hot Ashanti Derby, Eastern region.
Yeah. Yeah, so as Godwin said, there are so many variables that come to play on the stage. Just like election, people will tell you that it is won on the election on the polling station. The same way you have to win on the stage. But moving away from that, content is also very important. And I look at the three schools, and I have to be very objective. I would tip Prempeh ahead of the rest because they seem to have, they have a great team, and they have a great team, and they have experience. They know how to put things together and how to carry themselves, their composure. And I'm just hoping they will maintain their composure. But then, as the questions can also vary on stage, and so I can't give them 100%, but I'll just give them a slight tip over the other two. Pope John has also been a great school. All the three are going to exhibit their prowess, and I think it's going to be an exciting contest, and a very hot and exciting one.
Absolutely. Do you feel like, obviously Prempeh and Opokuwari has got historical they've got some history, both based in Kumasi,
Yeah.
both obviously in Ashanti
Well,
region.
yeah.
Are they going to work together to push one through, or are they going to work against each other?
I think both of them are going to protect their image. I'm not going to see anyone of them trying to push another one. Even if someone has to lose, they have to lose respectfully. They don't have to get very low points and like push somebody. But I think there's so much rivalry, but I don't know. It depends on the contestants. There can be a rivalry between the two schools, but probably contestants can have some kind of relationship that if one has to help the other one, they put the rivalry between their schools behind them. Yeah, but I think their contests. It depends on the one who is very opportunist, because all of them will I know all of them have great respect for the other ones. Each one has great respect. So it's about taking opportunity on stage. Who is able to take the maximum opportunity and utilize their own points.
Absolutely. Yeah. So viewers, make sure you join on Thursday. This is going to be a very heated segment, to be honest. So the last one, Sharon, we've got Keita, Infansepem School, and PRESEC. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I think the competition will really be between Keita and PRESEC, but of course, Fantipim can also pull us a surprise, like any other surprise we've been seeing in these quarterfinals or the 1/8, and we are expecting them to. I really hope they up their game and then are able to stand up against the two schools, Keita and PRESEC. Otherwise, I think the competition will be between Keita and PRESEC. Yes.
Absolutely. And we've seen Keita historically are known as the Speed Masters. It seems like they're trained for that round. So this is going to be a very interesting and exciting one. So we've got even more comments from our social media and Facebook. We have people watching from all over the world. We've got USA, we've got from Norway, Sweden, as I said, from Ireland. We've also got people congratulating all the schools. So we've got Wellspring School, congratulations to all the schools that have made it this far. We've got Great Aban stating PRESEC elevating their game to the next level. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, but unfortunately we have to leave. Our time is up, but before we leave, I want to say a massive thank you for you guys, to you guys coming on the show. I know you've got other things to do, so we really appreciate the time that you've provided to us. Join us on Thursday where the semi-finals will take place from the morning at Sarah Mensa Auditorium, and then after all the 3 contests, we hope to bring you the review show. Just before I leave, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge our sponsors. The National Science and Maths Quiz 30th Anniversary Edition is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with Goal PLC and supported by Joy News, AT, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Pepsodent Toothpaste Every Smile Matter, Better Malt, Garnet, Coronation Insurance, Academic City University College, Accra College of Medicine, Cowbell, Bell Beverages, GTP, Newmont Ghana, Africa World Airlines, and YFM. This is, of course, a prime time production. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. See you at the same time on Thursday, and goodbye.